Her smile shines as bright as the stars at night. Her heart is as kind as can be. She has the patience of a saint, but if you push her, oh Lordy. A straight talker is smiling. She's the salt of the earth. Make no mistake, she matters. Catch Smiley's story on a live stream. Oh boy, that girl can matter. Go Smiley. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Missing posters and stories of heartache and fear. She tells us all of the heartbreaking tears. She can sniff out the guilty from a mile away. If Smiley's on the case, then she's here to stay. She cares about these missing children. She cares deeply about them all. She speaks the truth with integrity. For the truth, she will seek it all. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. Smiley's questions are like a heat-seeking missile. She's going straight for the bullseye. Don't ever believe you can fool her. She's too wise, man, she won't comply. She values freedom like the 4th of July. She values respect even more. If you want to earn a place at Smiley's table, watch the clock, it takes time for sure. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you break her trust, you're done for. Trust don't grow back like grass. So don't give Smiley a reason to doubt you, or that friendship will shatter like glass. She's a damn good woman, that much we know. She puts in the hours to bring them kids home. If your child is missing, you want Smiley on the case. She is always willing and she gives so much grace. She's a Smiley, alright. She's a Smiley. Make no mistake why she's here. She's Smiley, alright. She's Smiley. If you're guilty, she'll smell out your fear. If you're guilty, you better feel fear.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Good to see everybody. Hello, Millie. Good to see you. Hello, Janice. Girl, you're supposed to be getting some rest. How are you feeling, Janice? You feel like crap? I'm so sorry. You left your DNA. Thank you so much. Thank you. I won't fault you if you need to go lay down, y'all. Janet, say some prayers for Janice. She has been very, very sick the last few days. Very sick. Hey, Choochie. Good to see you, honey. Hello, hello. Retha Bell, hello. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, hey, Miss Betsy. Hello. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. I'm so glad to see everybody. Hello. Listening today. No energy. It's okay. It's okay. I hope I'm just glad everybody's here, whether you're in the bushes, whether you're just listening, whatever you're doing. I appreciate you being here, whether you're on replay, no matter what, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you all. I love you all, and you all mean the world to me. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you. So welcome in. Welcome in. It is still October 11th, 2025, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to listen to some videos and stuff. This is kind of it's sad. It's sad. We kind of get immune to stuff sometimes, but this is an important one, I feel. It's about stalking. So I felt it was important to do. It actually has been a month, maybe a couple of weeks. Y'all might have heard about this case. It's the first time I heard about it. I heard about it on Brian Enton was doing it, or I come across his video. I don't know if he did it today or not. This happened in New Jersey. I thought it was so important. I know all about stalking. I know I had a family member, what it did, what it terrorized, how it terrorized, what it did, what it does. It's a crime, definitely. And this one ended up deadly. Not one, but two. Okay. This guy you see on the screen, it's out there. Obviously, his face is out there. This was a news article. I think he's 17. We'll get into it. Oh, and don't worry. Don't worry. It gets wild. It gets wilder. And we're going to hear it. Because he didn't mind after he got arrested. And, he seemed pretty intelligent to me. He got on his TikTok and his platform. He's got a lot of followers. He talked about it. He talked about it. He talked about some things. It's out there. Brian even shows it. And other people. It's all over the place, honey, if you just look. It really is. It's sad. I can change that, though, if y'all don't want to look at it. But it's not anything I'm doxing or anything, really. Promise, cross my heart. But that's who we're looking at. The two girls were there, and unfortunately, I guess the way my circle is, we're only getting half of one. Two angels on wheels. I think one was just innocent. I think she was, unless we learn more. I got to thinking about it today when I was doing my research or trying to. I know when I was with my best friend, we did everything together and growing up and this, that, and the other, and told each other everything. And, they say it's better in pairs and this, that, and the other. Maybe she wanted to go for a bike ride and maybe her friend was with her and she was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know. I was just thinking it was very sad, but however it happened, they're both gone. Two angels, two families destroyed. The truth behind the New Jersey tragedy. Y'all know, unless you're coming in, and maybe unless you're from New Jersey or you don't watch my channel or you're coming in, I'm Smiley. This is my world, Smiley Stories world. Just call me Smiley. Come back. Welcome in. Welcome in. you are more than welcome. I want to bring the light to this. I want to bring you this sad, heartbreaking story. So be ready, buckle up. Because Smiley gets real raw. I like to tell the truth. It's heartbreaking. And hello to all of my beautiful Smiley World family. Grab your candles, grab your emojis, your hearts. Drop these hearts in here for these two beautiful girls. Pray for them. Pray for their families. Because tonight, we're not talking about just these headlines and stuff. We're going to be talking about these two human lives. These two human lives that were taken and they were destroyed. They were, you know, at least one of them was stalked, haunted, and it just went on and on and on. These laws need to be changed. Couldn't even go out and go for a bike ride. Now they're angels. They're gone too soon. And we're going to talk about it. And this was on purpose. Stalked, harassed. This guy right here on my screen, he sent pizzas to the one girl's house. Oh, and he tells about that on his TikTok. In one of the videos. Sent pizzas to the house. He got angry when she called the police and told the police all about it and stuff like that. You know, on social media. It blows my mind. And, well, it kind of reminds me of some people. But anyway, we won't go there. But he mowed them down. He was going about 45 miles an hour over the speed limit when he hit these two girls on his bike. So much so that one of them stuck to the front of his car, his vehicle, truck, whatever he was driving. Can't imagine that. That's a fact. That's a fact. He may not look angry on TikTok. He may be matter of fact, but he had to be pretty angry to do that. Put the pedal to the metal, right? You know, well, with all due respect, you know what they say? They say, people, usually that do crimes and stuff, they usually watch, or maybe they're watching, even the police tell you, maybe they're watching what you're doing and, you know, lurking and listening and stuff like, well, with all due respect, if this guy right here is watching, hold on, it's time to open this door. Hold on a minute. I don't know why I bothered to even close it. Just hold on. Yeah, I did to drown out the noise. Go. If this guy right here is watching, and I'm live, you're welcome to mosey on along over here and grab a link. I got about 3 questions to ask you respectfully. And it had to do with what you said on your platform. And that was one, one, you didn't kind of admit to it, but I want to know why you were doing any stalking. You might be able to answer that, and why you feel wronged. But more importantly, I would like to know from your mouth, your lips to my channel, I would like to know what you said about the mental health issue. That's what I would like to know. Because I kind of agree with you there. I do. I kind of agree we do need more help with mental health issues and problems. But I would also like to know, do you consider yourself one with mental health issues? Yes, no. If so, why? If not, why not? I mean, I think me and a few thousand people would like to know that. I just would like you to explain that. Of course, you don't owe me anything. Oh, you can go ahead and fix a video if you don't want to come here and explain it. We would love to hear it. But I would love to know all about that. Let's carry on. Let's carry on. How about we watch this video? Because this is very heartbreaking to me. It's very heartbreaking. Oh, and those that don't know me, sometimes I like to talk to the people, and that's just what I did. So let's just move on.
Friends, Maria Neotis and Isabella Salas, just riding home on e-bikes through quiet Cranford, New Jersey. Around 5:30 p.m., a black 2021 Jeep Compass, speeding nearly 70 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone, violently plowed into them. At first, it looked like a tragic hit and run, but soon the story unraveled. The driver was identified as Vincent Battaloro, 17, from nearby Garwood. Families of the victims allege Battaloro had stalked Maria for months, showing up outside her home and sending disturbing messages. Their grief turned to outrage. This was not an e-bike accident, but murder in the first degree, they said. Then came another twist. Battaloro is reportedly related to the Westfield police chief, sparking allegations of ignored red flags. Court records revealed a trail of reckless driving tickets tied to him, speeding, no license, leaving the scene, all linked to that same Jeep. Even more chilling, Battaloro went live online after the crash, offering condolences while cryptically saying there was more to the story. He now faces 2 counts of first-degree murder, leaving a community stunned by how an afternoon ride turned into a horrific act of violence, wrapped in stalking, suspicion, and shocking connections. A ride home destroyed, 2 lives gone, in a small town demanding justice.
Y'all heard who he was kin to?
Why would a 17-year-old gamer allegedly run down 2 girls with his Jeep? The motive might just be buried in his live streams.
You should not have accused me of sending porn. And you should not have dragged me into creating a police.
Hold on. I hope I can get back to that. Hold on a minute. If I can't, this is what makes me mad about the only thing about TikTok. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Sorry. It ain't TikTok, it's me. Sorry.
Just a couple days before the crash.
Maria doesn't like to do.
That's a ball.
She likes to eat fat and be a pig. and likes to wear makeup around because she doesn't like being insecure.
In one of these live streams, Battlero even ordered pizzas cash on delivery to Maria's house, saying it was vengeance for false allegations she made against him.
I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna send her a pizza.
Neighbors and family have told NJ.com Battlero was stalking Maria, even showing up outside their home. In a final bizarre live stream posted shortly after the crash, he denied doing anything wrong.
I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations that have been ruining everything is a shame.
Why would a 17-year-old gamer allegedly run down 2 girls with his Jeep? The motive might just be buried in his live streams.
You should not have accused me of sending porn. And you should not have dragged me into creating a police report.
Vincent Battlero was charged with hitting and killing Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas, both 17. The girls were killed while riding an e-bike in Cranford. Court records claim Battlero was going 70 down a residential street right before the crash. Now he faces murder charges. Prosecutors haven't given a motive, but hours of videos Vincent posted to YouTube and TikTok show he blamed Maria for getting him suspended from school. Here's a clip from just a couple days before the crash.
Maria doesn't like to do.
That's a ball.
She likes to eat fat and be a pig. And likes to wear makeup around because she doesn't like being insecure.
In one of these live streams, Battlero even ordered pizzas cash on delivery to Maria's house, saying it was vengeance for false allegations she made against him.
I think Maria's hungry. I think we're gonna send her a pizza.
Neighbors and family have told NJ.com Battlero was stalking Maria, even showing up outside their home. In a final bizarre live stream posted shortly after the crash, he denied doing anything wrong.
I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations that have been ruining everything is a shame.
Why would a 17-year-old gamer...
So there you have that. I mean, that's really strange to me. That's really, I mean, bizarre. It's just bizarre. I don't even know what to say about that. Look. I mean, he sent her pizzas. At one point, he was on there, and we'll get to that. He had a burner phone. He was showing how he did it. He was telling all about it. And this was the after the fact. After the fact. I mean, come on. Let's talk about stalking just a minute. It's devastating. Stalking means engaging you're engaging in conduct that's directed at a specific person, directed at a specific person that would cause a person to fear for their safety, the safety of their life, the safety of others. You know, they're always looking over their shoulders. It causes emotional distress. You might know that person. You might not know that person. You know, in this case, maybe it seemed they went to school together, possibly, because he got suspended. That don't mean they did. I don't know. But you might know that person. You might not know that person. You might have just passed by them. My family member was spotted at a gym. Some common signs is repeated and unwanted communications. That could be by phone call, by mail, by text, emails, on social media. all those things. They follow you nonstop. They lie when you see them at places, why they're at the same place as you are. They make it so they run into you. Your place of work, the store, the gym, the stoplight. Beep, beep. Hey. They make direct and indirect threats. Maybe harm. So sometimes stalking is not always threatening. I don't know if y'all know that or not. Sometimes it's not always threatening. Sometimes it's friendly. Sometimes it's friendly stuff. Sometimes it's friendly things. And they could be out walking their pets, bumping the park, stuff like that. They get your personal information. They know all about you, all about your family, all about your neighbors, all about everybody around you, how you live, breathe, eat, what you eat, where you go, what you do, what's your schedule, everything. We've talked about stalking before on this channel. We've talked about it. We've talked about the movies. We've watched pieces of different things. I've told y'all about stories. I've told y'all about books. I've told y'all and told y'all and told y'all. I told y'all way back when I come on Summer Wells about different things. I mean, you can go, I'll relate to Rebecca Schaefer. I relate to a lot of stuff. It happens. Now we're seeing it. And I don't even have to call names. We're seeing it play out right in front of our eyes on here. And something bad is going to happen. Watch. Mark down. Smiley told us something bad's going to happen on YouTube with these YouTube people. Don't know who. I'm not God. I'm not a psychic. Just wait. May not be tomorrow. May not be a year. It's going to happen if this shit keeps on. But today in this story, the story that I'm telling right now, Angels on Wheels, the title of my story, it's already happened. Stalked one. This guy on my screen stalked one. And two ended up dead. Two ended up dead. Sometime, and we're going to talk about stalking as well. But stick around to the end, because you ain't gonna believe the best for last. Well, it ain't good, but it's the best video for last. But sometimes stalking behavior can appeal outwardly, friendly, unthreatening. Showing the victim different things, giving them gifts even, being nice. Regardless of seeming friendly and being nice and all the behavior that they're a good person, they continue unwanted communication or attention. Eventually, they become intrusive. They get frightening. They don't go away. And the context of the behavior is very, very important. You need to pay attention. And it don't have to be male on male either. It don't. Male on female. Sorry, male on female. Be aware. Be aware. You must contact the police. You must notate these things. You must get a restraining order. You must contact and report cyber crimes. You got to do this stuff. You got to keep a log. Even if you feel like nobody's taking you serious, you got to do these things. Put that paper trail down there. You got to always do that. Prioritize, you know what I'm saying? Put yourself as a priority. Do that. You got to watch out for yourself. Times, dates, pictures, journal. Do what you got to do. Even if you put it away and you don't need it until later on, you got to do these things. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You got to do this. It's important. Only if you make a police report and it's not where it's in the public eye, okay, do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. Even if you don't get that restraining order or the restraining order don't go through and you have that report, that piece of paper, get it. Get it done. It's for you. It's for your safety. It's for your family. If something happens, you got to do it. Okay? What if something happens to your kids or your loved ones, but you're still standing? You got to do it. It's important. When someone stalks you, they're insecure, they're lonely, and they're feeling incompetent. They're never going to admit it. Okay? They're not going to admit it. They would never say it. They would never say it. Sometimes they're jealous. Sometimes they don't have any self-worth. I'm not saying all the time. But stalking, it can be a symptom of a serious mental health disorder also. And now most stalkers, they do not have a disorder that diminishes the criminal responsibility, okay? They don't. Okay? They have a need to control, and they are obsessive. And also, don't forget, things become a habit. But I'm going to tell you something. The one trait that all stalkers across the board have, and they share it, is that they suffer. Listen to me. They suffer from a personality or a mental disorder, if not both. If not both. The most common thing they do is watch you. They get your routines down. And they have one or both. Don't ask me. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research. Find out for yourself. That's the truth. Nothing but the truth. The God's honest truth. And I'm not a doctor, but any doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, and book will tell you that. That's the truth. To stop a stalker, you need to prioritize a safety plan, your safety, now, yesterday. You need to block them on all social media. You need to block all phone number, any communication with them. You need to do your part You're not guilty. It's not your fault. But you don't need to participate in anything with them. You need to inform any trusted person with information, or one or two. You need to let somebody know. You need to get security if you have to. You need to contact, like I said, the law enforcement. You need to report them. You need to report the stalking. You need to get a protective order if you can. You need to leave a paper trail. And by no means do you engage in anything with them. And anything means anything. If it stops Katrina, that don't mean it's gone away. So I hope you reported it, because sometimes they slow down for whatever reason. Think about this. They could be in jail for something else. They could have been sick in the hospital. I'm just thinking outside the box. They could have their reasons. Again, mental health. They could be in a hospital. That's something you don't know about. They'll be back. They're going to get what they want, and they're dangerous, and it's a crime. And I hope you got this paper trail. Oh, wow. More reason you need to do this. She's your neighbor. Do you have a restraining order? Has anybody... Look, I don't know if you do. My favorite show on Discovery out of all of them. It's not stalking. It's not this. It's not that. You know which one it is? It's Fear Thy Neighbor. And I go back and I watch all of those reruns all the time. Once in a while they come out with the new ones. It's Fear Thy Neighbor. And if you don't watch that on Discovery Channel, you need to. I don't know you, but you need to. You know, they have those episodes. And if you don't watch that on Discovery ID, it's real. It's true. It's true stories, honey. And I would say go watch the stalking ones, but you know what? I would watch Fear Thy Neighbor. That's the one I would watch, especially since you live next door. And I'm just going to say to a nutcase, honey. I'm just saying, in my opinion. But that's me. But by no means, don't engage with them. Now, I know sometimes, especially if you live next door, you're going to be able to probably help it. But you need not to engage with them. They won't let me get a restraining order. Well, then I don't know why. I don't know the situation. But again, this is where you need to document. And this is why you need to videotape. And this is why you need to watch Fear Thy Neighbor. A lot of times, this is what happens when they think neighbors are just into it. Okay? They think the neighbors are just into it. And they won't do shit about it and blah, 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 blah. And then one of them ends up dead. Okay? I'm not telling you this to run out of the side of my mouth. I'm telling you this for a reason, to help you, and if you can, to watch these episodes even way, way back. And, see what you can do. That's what I'm telling you. But if, don't ever let fear make you quiet. Don't ever let fear make you quiet. I'm just saying. There's also, hold on, let me put this in here. Hold on a minute. Hold on just a minute. Oh, and don't worry. Hold on a minute. I'm going to drop this in here. That's why it come on. I'm going to post this. There you go. There's a link there. And I don't know if you need that or anybody needs that. But there's a link as well. Let's go. I want to watch this video right here. Give me just a second. Sometimes my Facebook acts up when I come on here. Today, I think I got this one working. I think. And then we'll watch the very last video. But let's watch this one first. It should be a quick one. Hold on just a minute. I pray it works. Okay. I think this is CBS. I can't see it down there. I think it says CBS. Hold on.
Jersey was murder.
These were the type of girls that befriended my daughter, and they were always so kind.
Police seen here arresting a 17-year-old suspect,
ABC.
later charging him with 2 counts of first-degree murder for the deaths of Maria Niotes and Isabella Salas.
I think the whole community really joined together and, provided whatever evidence that the police needed.
Prosecutors say the 17-year-old girls, who were best friends, were struck by an SUV late Monday afternoon as they rode an e-bike down a residential street. The families of the victims believe the suspect targeted Maria. Without giving any details, in a statement calling the suspect a coward who had been plotting this attack against Maria for months. The teenage suspect is related to a police chief in a neighboring town. That chief, also a neighbor of Isabella's, saying in a statement,
Wow.
I do unequivocally condemn the actions of the accused, and like you, I demand that he face the consequences of his alleged actions in a court of law.
With prosecutors have not released any information on a possible motive. They also have not ruled out charging that suspect as an adult, saying they are leaving all legal options on the table for prosecution. Whit.
An awful case all around. Rhiannon, thanks for your reporting.
This is what I was going to tell y'all. Hold on. That's what I was going to say earlier. And that was ABC. Sorry about that, y'all. That was ABC. That's what I was going to tell you. So his what was that, his uncle or somebody? But anyway, his relative was the chief. So he's saying he thinks he needs full punishment. But here's what I'm saying. I was going to say earlier, any other body, if that was my son or your son or whoever, 17, and I've seen it done many a times over the years and years ago, even when kind of stuff was unheard of. They charged them with an adult. So yes, he absolutely can be charged as an adult. He sure can. So he's already charged with first-degree murder. So yes, he absolutely can. Sure can. Now, we're going to watch this last one. This is where I found this at. Brian Eaton gets all the credit. And God bless him. He's good. I love him. I'm going to put this up here because I'm going to keep it big. Millie, if you will, please just drop the, what do you call it? The, I know you already have. Shit. I can't even think. I don't know what's wrong with me that I can't think. Copyright. But I'm gonna put this up here, and I'm gonna keep it big so y'all can see this guy right here. I don't even like to say his name. And we're gonna watch Brian, and he does a good job on this video. I'm gonna turn just a little tiny bit of music on. Let me turn it down on this. Just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you can barely hear it. Okay. So I'm not I'm going to watch y'all through my phone, and I'm going to make it big because I think this is really good. So hold on just a minute.
Channels also. This episode, I'm getting into just this terrible, terrible story out of New Jersey. These two young girls mowed down, run over. It was not an accident, according to prosecutors. And the teenager who's now behind bars, who they say is responsible, allegedly, one of the girls' parents had been sounding the alarm about this guy. There had been warnings. There had been stalking allegations. I'm going to get into all of it in this episode of Brian Entin Investigates. Hey guys, so there is a sad and just wild case playing out right now in a small New Jersey town. It's terrible. It's terrible. Two teenage girls, they're dead. A teenage boy is now facing murder charges. And I wanted to bring you the latest here because I've been trying to go over everything, and there are still just so many questions about whether or not their deaths could have been preventable. There are parts of the story that are absolutely just enraging. There were seemingly so many signs of trouble from the young man accused of the crime. And some of you guys have messaged me about this. We covered it a little bit on News Nation, but to catch those of you up who haven't been following, I want to catch you guys up to speed. This happened a week ago Monday. Maria Niotis and Isabella Salas were just doing what any 17-year-old girls might be doing on a warm summer night. They were riding their e-bikes to a local ice cream shop, but tragically, they never made it. A Jeep reported to be going about 70 miles an hour. That's 45 miles per hour over the speed limit. Mowed those two girls down before they ever got there. The Jeep was going so fast that one of the bikes would end up literally stuck to the front of the Jeep. And what seemed at first like a horrific hit and run, it would lead to 2 counts of first-degree murder. Prosecutors say this was no accident. It was first-degree murder. And almost as soon as the name of the 17-year-old driver, and his name, by the way, is Vincent Bataloro, as soon as it started to spread around town, Bataloro had been detained and questioned the day of the crime. What's interesting, he was then released until his arrest the next day, quote, pending further investigation. That's what police said at the time. Now, I want to be clear about something. The prosecutors haven't officially released the boy's name because of his age, but a state court database does show that Bataloro received 14 traffic summonses for a crash in Cranford last week in New Jersey. Stuff like speeding, reckless driving, driving without a license, and then also on top of that, the New York Times also confirmed that he was the driver through 2 sources of their own. So, all indications are, not all indications, I mean, he is the driver based on all the sources that we have, and also the New York Times and what was in the database. Now, according to Maria's mom, Bataloro had been fixated on Maria for months, and this is where things get interesting and also enraging. She told a friend that she had called the police multiple times. She called the police multiple times on Bataloro because the boy would park in front of their house and then would not leave. And 2 of Maria's friends told the New York Times that Bataloro had harassed Maria in the past and taunted her and her mom online, even sent pizzas to their house as a prank. I'm going to tell you more about that in a second, and wait until you see some of his YouTube videos. Bataloro's online taunts are made worse by the fact that he's got a pretty big following, tens of thousands of followers who would watch him typically stream his video games. Again, a lot of this was on YouTube, and what really, really blows my mind in this case is that Bataloro chose to live stream to those fans the very next night after the crash occurred. He was live streaming. He talked about what he called a hit-and-run crash nearby as he reacted to comments calling him a killer. Listen to this.
And I'm not going to talk much about it, but In a neighboring town, unfortunately, 2 girls were killed in a hit and run crash. Now, there has been a lot of misinformation going on over the internet. But I will say this. I wish my sincerest condolences to those 2 girls lost in that tragic accident. Okay? It is an absolute unfortunate situation, and there's more to the story that you're not getting. But when the time comes, I will explain it in greater detail. I'm not authorized to talk about the whole thing. I'm not going to give you any more information, but I will say this, okay? Making threats against my family will not be tolerated. My cousin has received hateful messages over social media about this whole spiel, and he's had to unfollow me on everything because of this whole drama. Why are you guys getting him involved? It's one thing, okay. If you hate me, you hate me. If you don't, you don't. You're opening up Pandora's box, getting family.
Okay, honey. Nobody over here is threatening you. Nobody should be threatening your cousin or anybody. Nobody did this but you. But you're on social media making vague threats after you committed 2 murders, cold-blooded, in my opinion. I'm still alive watching you. If you would love to come over here and talk about it and explain yourself, you're still welcome. We're still going. Just saying. Just saying, honey. Explain yourself. Don't get so upset.
Involved. And that just does not sit right with me. So I figured I'd make a statement about what happened. And I want to address something else, okay? Because this is a very serious incident that happened. And I really don't even know if I should be streaming this right now, but I have built a great following on TikTok with 39,000 followers that I have grown since 2020. And I want to thank each and every single one of y'all. I love you all to absolute death. And regardless of what happens, if you don't see me streaming for a little bit, you'll understand why. But this will be in the hands of Jesus. Everything will be okay. I will get this sorted out.
So obviously, I mean, the videos, and you're going to see there's even more, they get really, really disturbing. It's weird that he's so cool, calm, and collected, considering, according to prosecutors, he had just run down 2 girls the day before. It's bizarre. It is creepy. But even more bizarre is he goes on to thank all of his followers and say that everyone should be nicer to each other. Listen to this.
And I plan to keep continuing playing co-op with my best friend, Evan. He has stuck by me through the whole side, and I want to thank him for that. Without my loyal friends playing co-op with me, I wouldn't be streaming YouTube right now. So there's more to the story, but again, I'm not going to be authorized to comment on it. And I want to thank each and every single one of you guys that have stuck by me through this whole thing. And I want to address one more thing, okay? I really think there needs to be more done to address mental health in this state. Because, you know, I don't even know how to explain this, dude. I've been bullied, ridiculed, and stuff over false allegations, okay? Over this whole thing about things that have happened in the past. There's more to this story. It'll come out.
Oh, that's what I want you to come over here and interview with me for. I want you to tell me all about this mental health thing right there. Honey, I will help you explain it. I will let you talk. I will be respectful. I am curious as to what's in your little head. I want to know all about it. Smiley wants to know all about it. I would love to pick your brain to exactly what you mean, what you don't mean, and exactly what you're talking about right there. I would love to. Hey, email me, honey. I want to talk to you. If it's nothing else about that right there, that. We won't even talk about the details of what you did or what you didn't do. I want to talk to you about that part. That part. I want to talk to you about that. I want to understand.
In the future, okay? And I'm going to let you all know this right now. I don't plan to go anywhere anytime soon regarding streaming. But again, if I do end up taking a hiatus, I'm telling you guys why. So, I really think New Jersey needs to do a better job addressing this mental health crisis because I've been through way too much. I'm a nice kid. I'm 17 years old with a good family by my side. And these allegations that have been ruining everything is a shame. But again, I'm going to leave it at that. I really think you all should be a lot nicer to each other. If anything happens, I'm going to give you all some advice. All right? If you get bullied and ridiculed in school about, stuff that people hate you, I would tell your counselor immediately. And, before this gets out of hand, you got to address all these things because I'll tell you what, the amount of bullying that I've been put through in the past has been absolutely absurd.
There seemed to be a lot of signs that Battloro was a bully to his alleged victim. NJ.com was also able to look at some of the other live streams that he has posted. Some of these live streams are now from months ago. It's all now been taken down, by the way, but they saw it before it was taken down. And according to NJ.com, back in May, he talked about being suspended from school based on what he called false allegations that he distributed child sex abuse material. But the suspension was brought back up again in a live stream. That one was on September 23rd, just a week before the murders. He was blaming Maria and her mother for the suspension. And that is also when he sent those pizzas that I mentioned, which he also talks about in the live stream. I want to play that part for you.
So we're going to try to do this. I don't know if it'll work. The place closes at 12. But here's what we're going to do. I think Maria's hungry. I think we're going to send her a pizza. Sure. So y'all know I have a vengeance against this girl for accusing me of sending. I'm going to call a pizza to her house, and here's how I'm going to do it. So I told you all that I bought the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max the other day, and I'm going to be using this as my main phone now, better camera to do vlogs on. But in the process, I still have my iPhone 16 Pro Max. And here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be converting this as a burner phone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Domino's, and I'm going to have a pizza sent to her house, and I'm going to tell the guy the driver will be paid cash at the door. Yes, cash at the door. So, Fula, or my dad wants to call you Falula, don't fool me, stupid name. You should not have accused me of sending porn, and you should not have dragged me into creating a police report. So, Fula, you made a bad decision making a bad name of myself. You made a bad decision having this girl return to that store without me being there. I think you're hungry. We're gonna send you a pizza. Okay? I'm getting this set up. I'm gonna use my burner, and we're gonna call in a pizza. I'm gonna use a VPN so I don't get tracked.
Order like 5.
You sure?
Huh?
I don't know if I want to order 5. That would raise some suspicion.
So there's been some reporting that Maria's family and friends have said that a restraining order had been filed against Badaloro, but we haven't been able to independently verify that. So there is a lot of reporting out there, though, but true or not, it sounds like Badaloro had a reputation anyway. The question, why was Vincent free? Why was Vincent free? It's begun to pop up in Facebook groups. You've got true crime sleuths. They've been digging into the whole thing. The more you dig, it is pretty enraging. And some of them are wondering if it's because of Badaloro's connection to another police officer in a nearby town. His uncle, his name is Christopher Badaloro. He's the police chief of Westfield. And Chief Christopher Badaloro strongly pushed back on the notion in a lengthy Facebook on the town of Westfield's police department page. So he actually wrote this on the town Facebook page. He said, while social media has made it known that the accused is related to me, he is not my son and not a member of my immediate family. I want to be clear, as loud and as firm as possible, that in no way do my wife, children, or I condone, defend, or excuse the actions that caused this terrible and tragic loss of life. And the chief goes on to explain his silence initially was so that the Cranford Police Department could conduct their investigation without interference, but said now that charges have been filed, he wanted to speak out. And he continued to write, unequivocally deny the actions of the accused, and like you, I demand that he face the consequences of his alleged actions in a court of law. As a law enforcement officer, I maintain full faith and confidence in our criminal justice system, and that it will ensure he is held fully accountable. I too pray for these families. I too demand full accountability and justice. As a result of this tragic incident, I lost a neighbor, a beautiful, charismatic young lady named Isabella Salas, who I have watched grow up since the day I moved to Cranford. My neighborhood feels violated, and we are grieving. I am writing this to let you know that I stand with you, my Cranford friends and neighbors, and that I grieve with you. There is no doubt this crime has shocked and affected the whole community, no matter who you are. Just this weekend, the family of Isabella Salas laid that 17-year-old girl to rest. Roughly 500 mourners turned out to the closed casket wake, waiting 2 hours to get inside the funeral to pay their respects. It was just a tragic scene when you think about just these young innocent women and exactly what happened. One of the big questions now, though, is, was all of this preventable? What can be done when a 17-year-old is making threats online? Should police have done more? Should the school have done more? There was obviously, reportedly, cries for help, and the situation ended just tragically. I'm joined by Steve Moore, former FBI agent. First of all, Steve, something about watching those videos of Vincent Badaloro, it's so disturbing.
It's infuriating. It's I have daughters. I have to turn it off every once in a while to just relax and just go back to it and just realize that, this is, I can remember when I was interviewing this guy who had shot a bunch of people, and he kept saying things that were horrible. I said, you ended up shooting children. You thought they were going to be adults and you shot them and they were children. Doesn't that change things when you see children? He goes, yeah, you got to aim lower. And at that point, I wanted to come across the table and strangle him. But I knew that if I just kept letting him talk, he would do that for me. And so as I was listening to Battloro talk on these videos, I was thinking to myself, if I was the detective in charge, I wouldn't have charged him for another week or two. I would want him to talk about this. I would go interview him and say, tell me what about this, is really bothering you? Why do you think they're after you? And I would wait for him to put that on camera. I would have waited another week before I arrested him, because the target of his anger and his murder was gone. And the thought of that he was going to pick up another obsession and kill within a week, I don't believe that. So I think he was fairly safe to leave in the general population of humankind for at least another week, and hope he made videos every damn day.
It seemed like this.
That's a lot of their tactics. A lot of people say that. I guess it's true. They know what works as far as who's going to do what, because like for him, for instance, he was a stalker, and he had his fixation on the one girl. The other girl, in my opinion, was just there. She was in the way. It was just a convenient time for him to do what he did, right? So he did what he did, but he's right. They knew he wasn't gonna get fixed on somebody else within a week. So that is right in some circumstances. It can be a dangerous game. So in some of these cases, I know we get frustrated. Is that what they're doing? I've heard them say in certain ones, I won't name them, that's what they do or are doing in hopes that they talk, because they won't get out here and do it again. I tend to not believe that, especially with some of the certain ones they say. But I have heard that. So I do want you to know that. I do want you to know that is a real tactic. With the stalker, they're probably correct.
The sense I got watching the video was like he thought he was smarter than everybody else. Like he could talk himself out of anything.
Those are my favorites. Those guys, they take themselves down before the trial even starts. I love guys like that. I'm reminded of Wilford Brimley in the movie with Paul Newman and Sally Field, where he said, you seem pretty smart. Be careful though, because I'm kind of smart myself. And a lot of these guys don't really understand that as smart as they think they are, there's some pretty smart people about to lock you behind steel bars for the rest of your life.
How important will those videos be for the investigation?
Oh, those videos are going to be wonderful. Those videos are going to be the star witness. He's going to, because you say, well, you can't testify against yourself. He's already done that. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. He has just hung himself. And so these videos are going to be played every day of the trial. If I was a defense attorney, I would probably just walk into their room with a kid and said, okay, here's the deal. How can we mitigate your future here? If you want a future, albeit behind bars, we better try to make a plea bargain. But if I had those videos, I wouldn't plea bargain.
You know, he first was brought in for questioning and then they let him go the first time. I wonder if that goes back to your theory of let's just see what else he'll say. Let's see if he goes back on YouTube, that kind of thing.
That's very possible, and that's why I said a minute ago that I would want to go re-interrogate him, get more information, and in the meantime, maybe that interrogation might irritate him or unnerve him a little bit more, because he seems to be the kind of person who, when they get unnerved, when they get angry, when they feel the need to respond, they do. And every word he spoke was a nail, and I just... I would have loved to have seen him keep driving those nails.
There were stalking allegations. There was a restraining order, I believe. I'm sure the girls' parents are wondering this. Like, should police have done more before all of this happened?
If they could have, they should have. You know, restraining orders, restraining orders restrain lawful people. Generally, people who need restraining orders against them aren't lawful. I feel like we have a problem in society that we handcuff the police in protecting people like these two girls against maniacs like this guy appears to be. So I think, again, that could be part of a civil trial saying, look what happened because you didn't do this, this, or this. I don't know the circumstances of whether they had opportunity to do anything and didn't, or whether there was just really no way they could have changed the situation. But with him in front of their house, I mean, if that happened after the restraining order, that person should be in custody. So how about this? I have some extremely sharp questions I would be asking.
Yeah, because neighbors said they saw him outside the house.
Everybody in town knew that who knew these girls, knew that he was a danger to them. And that means the police knew. So we've got the right to ask some questions.
And allegedly to run someone over, it's just such a, I don't know, it's a really just terrible.
Personal?
Yeah, personal, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it just, you shoot someone, you don't look, you go away, but like to really run them over is just awful.
Yeah. He wanted to feel what that felt like. And, I've seen people say, well, how are you going to prove it was not just an accident? Because witnesses say he'd been stalking them in that car. And while they're out on the road, he just happens to be where they are. And he just happens to look away from the road long enough to kill them and then scream away. This is over and done with before they even walk in. It's just a matter of how bad is it going to be for him?
People watching this, they're like, well, what can we do to protect our kids? You get the restraining order, you try to do the right thing. What's your advice for them?
For a while after I retired from the Bureau, I did some private investigative work and investigation and other things. And several of the clients had problems with threats to family members. And sometimes if you go and door knock that person who is becoming a threat, and they know that I'm not a cop, I'm not bound by what the police do, I'm bound only by law. And if I find you are threatening her, I can defend her. And frequently those kind of interactions, if you keep them legal and you don't make threats, they can actually change somebody's mind about getting away with things, if that helps. Other than that, you need to keep a strong eye out for this person, and you need possibly to get your own lawyer. Members of my immediate family have been victims of stalking and damage as a result of that. And there comes a point when you need to get an attorney involved so that they know that this is not just going to be tolerated, that we may need more than a restraining order. We may need an investigator to give the police enough evidence for the crime. I mean, you could follow this person and say he was here in violation of the restraining order. Why have you private investigators, especially ex-law enforcement, we can write a pretty good prosecutive report and hand it to the DA and say, go get him. This is the report. You can prosecute him on this. And then you also make very strong points with them that if something happens to this person, after we've warned you about everything that's going on, we're going to be coming and talking to you about how you can make this right.
So yeah, I thought that was a very good. I like Brian, and I like it when he does the longer videos and stuff. I like what he does. So y'all go sub up. He's on News Nation, but y'all go sub up to his channel there. Brian Enton Investigates there, and I love hearing him talk and investigate is what he does. But I just, it's horrible, the whole stalking situation. And we had heard from the family that this guy right here, of course, his uncle was the neighbor of the girl. It's very heart-wrenching and gut-wrenching for him because now his family's getting threatened as well. He has the nerve to go on and try to vaguely threaten people or tell people they should be kind to each other and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's nuts. But, that's beside the point. He chose to do what he did, and they can try him as an adult. And he should have never hurt anybody or been doing what he was doing regardless. But now he's destroyed 2 families and 3, if you want to think of his uncle and his whole entire family, my God, and himself and everybody, the whole community, the whole neighborhood. And stalking is no joke, and it's something it is a crime, but it's something that they do wait a little bit too long on, and sometimes they don't take as serious or work as quickly as they should on it, and those laws need to be changed. I think, in my opinion, just my opinion, they need to hire a force or a couple of people in each force that even if, and hopefully they don't have, whatever, even if they have to rotate so people don't feel like people's not doing nothing at work, you know how that goes in any job. People to get more, to be just only for stalking, and then in the meantime, so people don't get jelly, they're not doing this or that, then rotate them, let them be experienced cops and stuff, but rotate them around and let the others get training in that, you know what I'm saying, and swap off, because, or let people shadow or whatever, because it's needed, it's needed, and laws need to change, and it happens, and it's sad. That happened in a small town here in New York called Dayton, New York, and the guy stalked then, murdered 2 teen girls 24 years ago. Oh my gosh, Raymond. Yeah, it is sad. And I was just explaining before you come in, You don't, sometimes it's dating, sometimes it's people you know, sometimes it's people you don't know, sometimes it's people that want to know you. Sometimes it's people that you don't that's never seen you, never met you. They just get a glimpse of you, or they hear about you and they look you up. People get fixated. I mean, and it's horrible. It's a horrible thing, and it's a serious thing, and it's a scary thing. It made it on the ID channel. Yeah, I was just telling somebody a while ago, somebody else was in here, and they had been stalked 12 years by their neighbor. And I told them, I said, before all this shooting stuff, and even now I watch ID when I have to know. But I told them because it was their neighbor, because of what they were just telling me and all that. But I suggested, and they're having trouble hitting basically. But I'm like, you know what? I suggest you watch Fear Thy Neighbor. That was my favorite one on there. It still is. Instead of the stalker one. I mean, because the police don't take stuff so seriously anymore. It's weird. It's they, and when your neighbors, hey, that's hard. That's even worse. Because they're right there. They know your every move. That's what stalkers do. And they get your everything. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. But for Maria and Isabella, and every young person taken too soon, we're going to keep speaking about them. We speak about all the victims, no matter how they were taken, or if they were taken, but if they were victims, we talk about them over here, and we try to, get through it. We try to figure it out. We don't know everything over here, but we're going to keep fighting for them. We're going to keep trying to smile through the tears. What else can we do? Keep their name out. Try to help somebody else out. Things people don't know. That's what I want to do. If you want to stay and be a part of it, stay and be a part of it. If you don't, unsub. I noticed some people's unsubbed. You better check and see if you're subbed up. If you're not, okay. If you're not for the victims, I can't help that. I'm for the victims over here. That's what I'm for. I'm for the victims. Through it all. That's what I'm for. Big, small, tall, black, white, green, red, blue. I don't care what you got going on over in the other areas. I want to know what's going on out in the world. We got to stay woke. There's real stuff going on out here. And things can change in the blink of an eye. And if you don't think it can be you, it can be you. It can be you. It can be yours. I want you to continue to pray for our mod 1-800, where Summer and Sebastian. She's home now. I haven't got to talk to her today. But she had an emergency in the blink of an eye. A big surgery. Pray for Janice. She is sick. She's been sick all weekend. I know she's listening. But I have talked to her several times, and she don't sound like she's getting no better. None. Lady Q, there's people here, y'all don't even know the problems people have. I hadn't seen Daily Tab lately. I hope she's doing okay. Prayers need to go out everywhere, to everybody. everywhere. I want y'all to stay kind, stay woke. That's right. Prayers to all who need them. Don't hurt. But y'all speak up. If you see something, say something. I guess I'll see y'all in the streets. I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. I don't think I'll be back on here tonight. But I appreciate you being here with me. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you later. Thank you, mods. Thank you for being here. And thank each and every one of you for spending some time with me. Thank you. Y'all have a good night. Bye.